I would like to show you how I mount and mat prints for competition. We begin with the mat cut, and the mounting should be slightly smaller than the mat so that it won't show. Position the print on the mounting or the backing, and I use post-it notes to hold it in position while I try the mat on for size and properly position the print. Scribe a line with a pencil across the bottom edge of the print and up the sides vertically so that you can align the print after applying the adhesive. At this point, you might want to practice on how you're going to handle the print and position it on the pencil line, because later it will be sticky and very difficult to reposition. It is important not to have dust or grit between the print and the mounting. I brush the face of the print and then lift it up and brush the mounting. Turn the print face down and brush the back of it, and now all the surfaces are clean and the print is ready to have the adhesive applied. Now I lay the print face down on newspapers in my workshop. I advise not doing this on the carpet. And use 3M77 adhesive spray, and I place some strips of mat board slightly over the edges of the print. This holds it flat and keeps the overspray from getting on the face of the print. On the top of the spray can there's a black mark on the rim, so line the nozzle up with this mark so that it'll pick up the contents of the can when it's held horizontally during the spraying. I spray horizontally back and forth across the back of the print, trying to cover it evenly. I suppose I cover it with 2 to 3 coats of spray so that it fully covers the print, but not so much that it would squeegee out when I roll the print down on the mounting. So I always wear a paper dust mask while spraying to avoid inhaling the spray, and you should follow all the instructions on the can for your safety. Now I move quickly while the adhesive is still wet and position the print along the line that I'd put on the backing. I'm trying to touch as little of the print to the backing as possible so that I can reposition the print along the line before I begin to roll it down flat. Once the print is aligned with the backing, drop it gently on the backing or the mounting and begin rolling from the bottom edge towards the top. Then just keep rolling, basically from the center out, to force out any air bubbles from between the print and the backing. I try not to run the roller over the edge of the print because I sure don't want any of the adhesive that might squeegee out to get on the roller. That could transfer adhesive to the print and ruin it. The roller I'm using is called a brayer, and it can be obtained from most art stores. It is a hard clear plastic, and it's suggested that I use this rather than a rubber one because rubber tends to bring the texture of the mounting board up to the top of the print rather than rolling the surface smooth. So if you get adhesive on the brayer, it's real easy to see, and you can remove that with some mineral spirits and then just polish it with a dry cloth. So keep it clean. Now we're ready to spray the adhesive on the back of the mat itself. And to do this I use some old cardboard pieces, and I've used them over and over again. They're naturally smaller than the opening in the mat, and I can use 4 of them to lay in each of the 4 corners of the mat to protect it from the spray, because I usually try to keep the adhesive at least a 1/4 of an inch away from the opening of the mat. I spray about 3 coats of adhesive around the edges of the mat, holding the spray can at an angle so that it doesn't spray under the cardboard masking. Carefully remove the 4 cardboard pieces so as not to slide the mat into the adhesive on the newspapers. I then pick the mat up from the inside edges that were protected from the adhesive and take it over to the mounted print. With the print setting on its bottom edge, I set the mat down as shown and align the bottom edge. Move the mat side to side until it is aligned with the left and right edges. Then gently squeeze everything together a little bit and lay it down flat on the table. Roll the mat down around the edges and basically you're finished. I usually leave the mat flat on the table and then put a stack of prints or matted prints or books on it for several hours or preferably overnight. That avoids cupping and curling while the adhesive cures, and the matted print remains nice and flat. Well folks, that's about it. Now let's sure hope the judges like it. And as a closing thought, just a little housekeeping on your adhesive spray. I end by turning the can upside down and spraying it against a newspaper. Just hold a section of newspaper up and spray until the nozzle blows clean. And then I remove the nozzle and soak it in some mineral spirits and wipe it clean with a cloth. Keep that nozzle clean, otherwise it'll form little gobs and puddles on your print. I like to keep a nice even spray pattern with a clean nozzle. So that's it for this workshop, and I hope you have good luck.